and it is soggy as hell out here. It is really wet, and I'm soaked. All right. And, of course, I cannot tripod for some reason. Oh, seriously. Stay. All right. I'm sorry I'm late. I will be honest, I was going to be about 5 to 6 minutes late as it was. And then there was oh, before you go, could you? Yes. And then once I got out here, I was reminded that it has been unbearably hot, and it's a good thing I was not here. And I was having a discussion about my lack of air conditioning. So, there are people around the corner here, but let's not film them. And I am still setting up a chair because for those of you who aren't following along at home, my name is Joseph. People call me Taco. Can't imagine why they do that. This is the Portland Ice Building. There aren't a bunch of people out in front of it right now. Doesn't matter. We're here. We don't need to be standing right in front of it to be out here. They're about... Hang on. I don't go and film them up close. There's about 6 people over there, just around the corner, but I don't know if any of them would mind being filmed, but my pattern is that I don't on this side of the street. If you are over there or over there, I assume you don't mind being filmed. If you're somewhere else out here, I don't do that. I'm repositioning here a little bit. So, it is Thursday. Things are quiet out here. Especially because the weather suddenly turned. Man, a bunch of whiny bitches. I swear. Hey, it's too hot. Hey, it's too wet. Get your ass out here. No, I wasn't out here the past couple of days. I normally take Tuesday and Wednesday off. My fiance has asked me to take some days during the middle of the week off. I'm going to be out here all the weekends. But I wasn't out here on Monday or Sunday because I was just no function. By this time of the day, see, I still have no heat pump. So by this time of the day, it's so hot inside, hotter than it is outside, despite my best efforts. And a couple of really big honking fans, that I'm hydrated, but I mean, today we're hydrated, yes. I'm hydrated but exhausted, so I decide I'm going to basically collapse and sleep for a few hours. I know that I'm hydrated, I'm not, in any risk of that. So it's good enough. But I need to get back out here. And apparently I'm looking a little rough because after not doing it for a while, coming out here kind of takes the piss out of you a little bit. That is the nature of being a chemo. For those of you who aren't keeping score, I am I'm a legally blind albino who is insulin-dependent diabetic, severe asthma, and I take chemotherapy for my stage 4 melanoma. So I got issues. But I'm still out here. Theoretically, at some point, I will be getting a new heat pump. Hopefully in time for July. But we paid extra for, priority shipping on it. So it would be 6 weeks instead of much longer. I am changing. Change that so I'm at least listening to somebody calling out for a medic rather than random chit chat on a repeater. In addition to my job of being a crappy protest media, I also am more or less a protest medic now. More or less. I mean, if somebody's hurt, I can help. You wouldn't help somebody who was MAGA if they were out there, would you? Yes, I would. If they were hurt, abso-fraggin-lutely I would. Because at the end of the day, when Trump is all gone, and he will be gone, dude's a foot in the grave already. When he's gone, a lot of these people are going to suddenly decide to forget that they have voted for him in the first place, and they're going to want other people to forget that they voted for him too. A lot of people are not going to do that. I am more interested in answering the question, have they seen the light or have they seen the writing on the wall? But tonight I brought that place. That place needs to be shut down. It just does. There is no place for what is happening at that facility in a country that claims to be what the United States has claimed to be for the past however long. But, you know, Trump delights in cruelty and torture, and, I mean, we know what he likes to do to children. Whether we wanted to know that or not. So, because it is kind of more on the chill, sort of hanging out in front of the ice building in case something happens, more than, you know, what most people would consider an active protest. On these weekdays, when it's more quiet, I bring a topic out here and we discuss it. And yes, I can actually read the chat at this point, so let me do that. He was, then Tommy was sort of barred from being here, and managed to make such a managed to make it pretty clear that he wasn't all that sorry for the things he was doing. He might have been sorry he was doing them to me specifically, but he's not sorry he's doing them. He continues to do them. Nonetheless, I continue to wish that Tommy's gaming stream would take off and he would spend his energy there rather than harassing random ass people who ride TriMet. Love you, TriMet! I'm so far back, I doubt they even see me over here when they come around that corner. I am taking advantage, I am taking abso-fraggin-lutely full advantage of the fact that there is an overhang here. So Tired has been working on emotes. We've got a space for what, 4 of them, I think? 4 or 5? And she's working on 2. There's going to be a tree and there's going to be a bus. So that's awesome. And she installed them when I was not here to pay attention to it. It'll be nice to have those. It will be really nice to have those. So anyway, let me see if anybody had anything to... Okay, I saw that. I'm just checking back through the chat. Oh, forget it. Nope, I can't. It keeps scrolling. Stop scrolling. It scrolls when I don't want it to, and it won't scroll when I do. So, fine, you do that. So as I was saying, we bring a topic out here, and I don't know if anybody else brought one tonight. I've got a big one. you could basically say that the Progressive Party platform, progressive platform, there isn't really a party as such that speaks to this, but the Progressive platform. Let's see, what would it be? If we were to define an actual platform with planks. The first one would be equal pay for equal work. Fair wages and fair wages for everybody. So no discrimination in wages. Equal protection under the law. Equal access to the law. Strong support for labor unions and labor rights, collective bargaining. Regulation of essential utilities. The government making sure that these things are run for the public good rather than the private profit. Do these things sound like far-fetched ideas to Americans? I think there's not many people who are going to say that these things sound off the wall. Fair pricing for medical care. Transparent pricing for Medicare or medical care for Medicare. Fair pricing for Medicare. Yes, fair pricing. Medicare should be priced accordingly. No, medical care should be priced fairly and transparently. You should know what it costs. Love you, TriMet! Is that? Oh, all are welcome bus. Very cool. I love that one. Yep. For some reason, Nathan's standing out in the wind and rain. Fair access to health care. That would be another one. Basically making sure that people had a right to work and earn fairly, had fair and equal access to the law, that the laws did not explicitly favor people with more money. These would be, I mean, maybe not things you're going to achieve real easily, but these are things that progressives want, right? Those are Republican platform ideas. Or at least they were. In the 1920s, it was Republicans who championed labor unions. Abe Lincoln said that the duty of government was to do the things which the individual could not easily do for themselves.
I want to go to a 7th Cavalry flag.
Probably right up until the Civil Rights Act. Republicans were the ones championing equal rights for all, to the extent anybody was. Women's suffrage, Republicans were there. Equal access to the law, yup. Equal pay, equal rights, yup. Civil rights, Republicans were big on those. Like I said, the labor unions, yup, they were there. And ensuring that utilities were run in the public interest and not the private profit, Republicans were there. Through the 70s, that was the Republican position. I think the Republicans kind of bailed on civil rights right around the time the Civil Rights Act was passed. Johnson had a lot to do with that, and if you know the history of the passage of the Civil Rights Act, a couple of kind of nasty Republicans killed that for the Republican side. And some of the Democrats who picked it up were people like Lyndon Johnson, who was pretty frickin' racist. He was being strategic, not honest. So what happened? Well, I've talked about before the effort in 1933 by some Republicans, some wealthy business owners, and a few Democrats to install a unitary executive. They were a little more forthright about what they're doing. They were trying to install a fascist dictator. And the only reason why the plot was exposed was the person they chose to be the fascist dictator did not want the job. He was a patriot. Just like the people out here at the ice building are patriots. I'm not talking about MAGA. I'm talking about the protesters. We are patriots. Maybe some don't have much love or respect for this country, but most of us do. And frankly, the ones out here who don't have respect for the United States represent indigenous tribes. And their patriotism is for their tribe, which is supposed to be an independent part of the United States. Every person born to one of those tribes is also a U.S. citizen.
Oh, shit. It was just a John Fidel. It was just a John Fidel.
And if they don't have patriotism toward the United States, it's because the United States...
Would you like some? They want to know if you want pretzels.
What, is it
Oh, no, thank you.
grease?
The United States just hasn't had much,
An incident at Odell.
much
You will want
patriotism toward them. I mean, literally, that's what it is. The United States has not upheld its obligation to the tribes. I mean, the entire history of the United States is riddled with not doing what is right by the native tribes. That's just what we've done. Ooh, ouch. Scrape. So, the business plot failed. But in the 80s, and really starting with the election of Ronald Reagan, all that changed. Suddenly, Republicans were for, let's get rid of the regulations that ensure that utilities serve the public good. I mean, people respond to this by saying, but Ma Bell, the telephone company was fucking evil. And yeah, they were. How's Comcast for you? Is Comcast any better than Ma Bell? How about Spectrum? Some folks have Spectrum. Or Charter. Does Charter still exist? Yes, in the Northeast they have Time Warner. See, fuck Spectrum. Also fuck Comcast. These things are not improvements. And the United States was always supposed to be, a progressive approximation toward, a country that lives up to what it espouses. We're supposed to be, better than we were because nobody is what we say we are. Or at least nobody is what we say we should be. We are failing at that whole, we are backsliding so much. Little note, put more spoons in here.
Peyote, mushrooms, weed. Yeah. All of a sudden, you know that tequila I drink comes from fucking blue guava cat. But I don't
essentially, what has happened is that kind of the extreme of the right wing in this country has successfully pushed the United States from being a country where the right wing demands those basic civil rights. And equal protection under the law, and that everybody is treated fairly, support for labor. This was the standard. The right wing supported these things. And we've reached a point that they don't anymore. We've reached a point that they don't anymore. And it started with Ronald Reagan. It really did.
give them a credit. Maybe I just haven't really reviewed it, but I realized the initiative yeah. What is that? The basic application, I'm able to remain calm. I'm really calm. Really calm. I don't freak out. I don't get irate. I don't start screaming yelling,
And like these seem like such reasonable asks. The only one of these things that I've mentioned tonight that was not classically a Republican Party platform thing is transparency in medical. And the reason why it wasn't was that until the past 50 years, hospitals were not for-profit entities. They were explicitly non-profits. They were charities. They were run by church groups. I mean, how many hospitals were named for Catholic saints? Because Catholics opened up a lot of hospitals. And if they didn't, other church groups did. I think we have a right to demand better.
I think they should have kept everything. I like that. There is, and that's what my favorite they were making America.
I don't know if you guys can see that.
Yeah. They're really cool. It's like we look at that. It's not the same thing. I don't have I'd be like, huh?
And it is on. Spin this thing around so I can get to where I know there was a table. Got a table. Yeah, I think we have a right to demand better.
I looked at this and we were both And then she gets one. And oh my God, she's getting details. Like, right in front of you, dude, right here. Right here in front of the building.
Freya is, for one thing, Freya has been trying to find people who aren't all that strongly tied to MAGA and convince them that grass is greener over here and that they should stop supporting that. And some other people decided that made Freya public enemy number one, and some shit was said. I don't know all of the details. I know some, but the 100% accuracy of any of it I know is difficult. And basically, Freya has been kind of made to feel sort of unwelcome. And some of the people on the other side are trying to make Freya feel like she's welcome there. It's funny because they won't refer to her as a she. Which sort of seems like a lack of respect to me. I fear that Freya is going to find that a lot of the people he's been talking to are less than really friendly, that they're trying to use her rather than support her. And I said last time I was out here that Freya is my friend and continues to be my friend. I don't know if anybody else out here would welcome her out here at this point, because things have been said and yeah, I don't know. But I'm not looking to make enemies with anybody, so there are people who have decided to make an enemy of me, and there's shit I'm just not going to put up with. But at the end of the day, like I said before, when this is all said and done, all of these people who have supported Trump are going to go, God, what was I doing? What was I thinking? And some of them will admit it. Most of them will, no, I wasn't really, I didn't. You voted for him 3 times. No. Because they're going to realize that this was so disastrously wrong. But kind of why I wanted to bring up what the Republican position used to be. Is because despite that, being their position, the Republican Party used to be one of 2 viable political sides. And you need at least 2. right now, we only have one sort of viable party in American politics, with the alternative being laws don't matter, elections don't matter, the Constitution doesn't matter. We win, we win all the elections, it doesn't matter. If we lost, we won. Either we won or they cheated. Heads I win, tails you lose. With the threat of violence and oppression to anybody who says, now hang on a minute. See, that's not a viable political system or a viable political party in a constitutional republic. We are a representative democracy. And if the choices are a broken and feckless Democrat Party, and they are broken and feckless, and a Republican Party that isn't a party anymore, that is a cult of personality around a lunatic, demanding that laws and constitution and elections, none of these things matter. Only his fiat, his whim matters. Then we don't have even necessarily one truly functional political party, and we need at least two. One of the reasons why anytime we have attempted communism in the history of the world, it has ended badly, is because attempts to create a communist government, which, by the way, I don't support. I don't support the idea of attempting communism, because every time it has been attempted, it has been co-opted, corrupted, and destroyed. It doesn't seem to work. Well, if we just try it one more time. The definition of insanity is attempting to do the same thing over and over again and expecting it's going to work out differently this time. It hasn't worked. And I think part of the reason why is the uniparty. If everything is for the people, everything is for the people. It isn't, but we say it is. Everything is for the people. You can't question the one party, or you're against the people. Which means there's no room for dissent. It's the same problem you have in a theocracy, where opposing the government in any way becomes sin. This is why you need to not have the joys of internet on a rainy day. Cellular is not great out here. What I was saying was, in a theocracy, objection to the secular actions of the government is committing a sin. Love you, TriMet! So this is the problem you get with a communist
Oh,
government.
I didn't realize you were here.
Hey,
Hi.
how are you?
I'm well. Oh. Hi, chat. Lambert's here.
I have a chair. If you'd like to pull up a chair.
Sure. Let me get my stuff.
Okay. Hopefully there's other people out here. I consider Freya not being out here a loss. But that's because a lot of my friends are not here anymore, and I miss seeing them because I don't go many places.
Hello. Oh, I'm cold. I'm just wearing shorts and
Oh, geez.
a tank top under this.
Yeah, you would think that your outfit you'd be warmer.
Yeah, but
But
a lot of me's exposed.
Yeah, yeah.
Which was great for the heat, but
Yes. The whole part where I have to completely cover up from head to toe
yeah.
is part of why you guys didn't see me out here Sunday or Monday. Because
It's all right.
because it is so hot it was so hot outside. I don't have an air conditioner right now. And I live in one of these glass and steel towers that were built assuming you did have functioning air conditioning. So it was too hot. It was 10 degrees more than it was inside, no matter what 10 degrees more than it was outside, no matter what I did, day or night. And in the end, it was just, I was managing to stay hydrated, but by 5 p.m. I was just exhausted. And if I'm just continually exhausted by that time, it's like I can't go out and spend however many hours out there. So I didn't.
There we go.
So we have a fun topic tonight.
Ooh, what's our topic?
Well, I started talking about things that we recognize as sort of a progressive platform. If we had a party, explicitly a progressive party, what would the platform look like? And it would be things like equal protection under the law, equal rights.
Feeding the hungry.
We would have like, and I'm going somewhere with this.
Yeah.
Equal protection under the law, equal rights, equal buses. Love you, TriMet!
We love you, TriMet!
I love the all are welcome buses. They are so cool.
Yeah.
There's a couple of them. So equal protection, equal rights, strong support for labor unions and collective bargaining, fair wages for fair work.
Healthcare for all.
See, the healthcare for all didn't come into it at the time, and this is going to there's going to be a historical context to this, because so far everything I've described
Yeah.
was the Republican Party platform
Yeah.
through the 70s. All of these things that are considered to be fringe, left-wing, wacko, no, these were Republican standards.
Yeah.
The reason why healthcare for all wasn't necessarily one of them is because hospitals used to be almost entirely nonprofit.
Yeah.
Which means if you couldn't afford healthcare, you still got treated.
Yeah.
I don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
It should. Healthcare must include mental health, optical health, dental health,
Here, here.
all the things. It should be comprehensive. Yeah, it should. The other one that used to be a big one for Republicans was federal regulation of the things that people need to live, so that, and this is as close as it gets to healthcare classically. Public regulation of the things people need to live to ensure that they are run for the public benefit and not private profit. So I don't think these are reasonable. These are unreasonable things to demand.
Yeah. No, I'm with you.
And from there, I started thinking about where systems that are supposed to serve the public interest seem to all fall down. And one of the reasons why I don't necessarily support communism is because something like communism, every time it's been attempted, it has been corrupted, co-opted, and destroyed as anything that serves the public good, and has always served the people in power. And that's because of the uniparty. When you've got one party, you have a system that that benefits the people in power, and they are incentivized to declare that any opposition to them is opposition to what the party stands for. Theoretically, in a communist state, the people rule.
Right.
So if you are opposed to dear leader, you're opposed to the will of the people. Even if everybody is opposed, it doesn't matter, because the will of the people is manifest in the dear leader. there isn't a system where you can have opposition. Theocratic governments, same deal. You've got the church. The church is the party. There's one party, it is the church. And there you have the problem that disagreeing with the head of state and what they're doing as a secular matter becomes sin. So that doesn't work either, for the same reason. Which, you know, bringing this up prompted like some comment like "go home," which was about the best,
What's that?
the best MAGA supporting retort.
Yeah.
Well, the DSA does support things like universal health care, a Green New Deal,
I want to try this out. Oh yeah, it was big. It's like my ear is still fucked up.
and a couple other things that I'm not sure that everybody would be immediately in support of, like everybody. If the alternative is that or a broken and useless Democratic Party or
Right.
a Republican Party that is no longer a viable
that's
part
what
of the
this
political
was.
system,
Yeah, probably.
I'd choose a DSA. It's probably it's probably the closest to where I fit today.
Yeah, I was down there by myself from like 11 to 12. Probably showed up around 12, and then at like 1:30, they threw that at me. But yeah, so
The thing I keep pointing out is that I have a lot of European friends. And they're socialists, and they live in the socialist countries. Countries like Denmark. And they pay a lot in taxes. They pay a lot in taxes. But they get universal health care, so they're not paying for the health care, right?
Ponytail dude from the city hall last week.
They're getting better health care than we are.
About an hour, probably. Yeah.
It's available to everybody.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was that dude, because he yelled out the window.
And their universal health care is,
And they went up and they sat at the stop sign.
frankly, they pay less in taxes as a whole, despite the fact that they pay a lot more taxes than we do. They pay less in taxes than we pay for medical, and they get better medical. What the fuck? Because their medical system is regulated to put public good over private profit. Ours isn't.
Well, so I debated stabbing across the time, like, fuck, because when I got 4 of them, on me, I mean, Ursula was like halfway down the street, but
So yeah, DSA is probably about the closest to where I live politically these days.
yeah, honestly, it's not.
And it's because I'm realizing that,
Yeah.
you know, what I was raised to believe as a good Republican,
Yeah.
or at least a good conservative-minded person,
Well,
is not true.
what's funny to me is it's on this, because I was standing.
Never was.
I was standing about in front of their doorway.
The conservative position was the one that was compatible with the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence. And it called for equal rights, equal protection, regulation of the things that are necessary for life so that people cannot be abused by other people who seek to exploit them.
Our guys are going to be up in Seattle. Like Tommy did. It's a march, parade, the pride parade. Yeah. Yeah, we're going to get their asses.
So not only does the Republican Party no longer hold those views, in fact, it holds quite the opposite. The Democrats don't really hold those views either. The closest that does is the DSA.
Working on a new project. It's going to be a vest. Right now I'm working on the back panel.
Nice.
Want to feel?
That feels like nice crochet work. Very even.
Thank you.
For you or for somebody else?
For me.
We've had forms of socialism this whole time. We just didn't call it that. Now we want that, and that's exactly it. We had that, and we need it back. And we realize now, at least some of us do, that socialism in some form was what we used to have, and we've lost it, and we need it back.
Yeah, whatever they threw last night was, I mean, the equivalent of firing a 12-gauge right next to your ear. It was 3 feet away from you. Yeah. Well, that's part of what I wanted to come down there for. It's raining, so I knew there would be a lot of people, but I wanted to warn people. It's a little four-door bed, sports car.
So that's the thing.
Like a tricked out,
All the things that Republicans say they support, or say they did support, or did say they supported, they don't really.
Right, yeah.
All that Christian nationalism, if you actually read your Bible instead of thumping it, Jesus was calling for, wow, really freaking progressive. I mean, if Zoran Mondani is somehow an extremist, wait till you meet this guy named Jesus. And Mamdani is a really interesting case because
I'm retreating.
good idea.
Basically the same deal over here anyway. It's cool.
A wet building that not much is happening in front of for the moment.
Yep.
And that's not a bad thing, honestly.
I wanted to be able to see in the gate. But
See, what you need is a good waterproof camera. I need to go and dig for that one for you.
oh yeah.
I haven't had a chance to go down and looking for it. Unfortunately, it is not waterproof.
What's going on, guys? Good. Wet.
But it kind of seems like if you've got a waterproof camera that you can set up over there, attach it to the fence or something, and just aim it right in at the gate,
Yeah.
and then you can come and hide and switch over to that view when you want to see what's going on inside the gate. As my camera will not show what's behind the gate clearly, there isn't much point.
Okay.
Nights like this, you can't stay down there the whole night.
I gave it my best shot. So I put together. I want to post on YouTube because it's YouTube. It's always
Yep, he's hiding.
another video of that.
He's hiding over here with us.
And the opening sequence on TikTok is like me smoking. No, like so. Like one time in a script, I put like a black and white filter over it, and something about the way he's doing, like he looks like something badass. You're like,
Well, what's funny is
Oh,
it
he's
looks
just
like
over
I'm
here.
in their group, right?
oh,
But that was when purple shirt, coral shirt come up the first time. So
Yeah.
they were actually trying to surround me. And then whoever threw the cereal thought I was with them and threw it at me too. And
which
it,
it was fucking.
yeah, it was like tricks or something,
It was like
something
monster
stupid.
flakes or something. I tried to take a picture of it later. Oh my god. So again, I put up that one video and man, it just went wrong. That person slipped and it was liquid and like,
Yeah.
you didn't show the exact moment so it didn't happen. I'm like,
Yeah,
I
so
showed half a second before and half a second after. Like, the guy just magically end up on the ground and they're
Right.
doing this. Like,
my camera wasn't going to do this. I'm holding my yeah, I started as next time when it starts with Nico running in front of me being like, yeah.
So,
I really want to put the edit I have.
I'm curious if there are other
Like,
thoughts
good, like, it's
on what I was.
like, I think it's substantially transformative. I don't know if I want to like, you know?
Yeah.
And like, I don't have any strikes. Like, I never got anything that could ever get me in trouble with YouTube. I don't know if I want to, risk it over one day.
Don't tax billionaires so they can become trillionaires.
Come up with some other problem with it. Like, you could show it clear as day in the story.
The thing is,
Keep an eye out for that guy that was in the ground because I'm pretty sure he's the one who threw it.
if you have that kind of money,
No, the brown.
you cannot spend it.
Oh, okay, yeah, the money.
Yeah,
Literally
the guy
just
who
not
played
possible
with
to spend.
the lady who threw the cereal. Yeah, 'cause I'm pretty sure he yelled at me from the car and he circled back and threw a quarter at me.
You know?
Yeah.
Right there.
I'll be right back. I need to get my sign.
Get hurt from a long
Yeah.
way, you know.
Yeah.
Right there, like right here is still.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was thinking like the parking and stuff come off. Like, yeah, those things are hot.
Yeah. But I don't think he drives like he caught the bus from City Hall and he was an accident.
So, did anybody else bring a topic? Monsanto decision. Excuse me.
Yes.
I'm mispronouncing Monsatan.
Yeah, I posted it too in a 7-second thing today saying I didn't say he did it. I said something remarkably like this.
I don't know much about the about this Bear thing. Bear owns it all.
So like I didn't. So it was literally me out here by myself. So it's not
Yeah.
safe to like have like.
Or excuse me, am I conflating two stories? I might be.
I was just down here. I was practicing. Just keeping an eye on things, you know.
Yeah.
They just kind of they came out with 2 people pretty early, and then they had like 6 years.
Wow. So, like,
There.
they're coming out at 1. Do you think that's people that are getting
That
off
was good.
shift that are working
And it was the
their
right thing.
shift, or do you think, like, they were going out on a mission or something?
I think there's people
I brought
who
chili.
are working. I think it used to be
It's a good
like
meal.
when you would see them leave at 8, 10 o'clock. I think they were going out doing
Yeah.
stuff, coming back and leaving at 2 or 3 in the morning. Now I think it's just that whoever they have parties with, I think they're shift days. I don't think they're doing second grab back here. Because it used to, I do some crap work. Like it used to be like around the clock.
So, 6 straight people
I mean,
like 1 in the morning. Would
Trump deported a 4-year-old cancer patient because he was able to deport this person's mother.
Buckeyes!
Woo! Fuck
Buckeyes!
Woo!
Yeah, well, like, I wonder how many people are in there round, like, round the clock, or like, yeah, yeah.
Dude, Buckhan is becoming like able to have a serious political debate. I'm impressed with how well that bot is being programmed.
Yeah, I've been doing more game streams down here. It's so fun.
This morning, he asked people to try and really piss it off, and then he like tweaked the knobs so that Botkin can have a complete mental breakdown, and it was horrific to watch.
Yeah,
It's like, you guys are gonna create Skynet.
I'd like to come down there during the day more. Start doing like 2 days during the day, like I said.
This AI is going to decide that it needs to kill all humans. And it will be your fault, people.
We'll have am. I think, therefore I am. You know I have no mouth and I have a screen.
Uh-huh. The book or the game?
Both.
Fair? The game is really trippy. I know. Although, I should talk about books that are kind of fucked up. I've been reading Dungeon Crawler Carl for the past year. I was not into the whole idea of lit RPG because I looked at a couple and it's like, really? There it is. Love you, Toyman! Jordy's ability to be chill is astonishing. Like, I wish I had his temperament sometimes.
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, I mean, that's part of the reason I still keep showing up is just like, fuck you, you're not going to scare me off, you know?
That's why I was back out here 14 days
And for being such a chill guy, he seems like he's not really...
Yeah, you were just... Real my ass out of there.
Not really able to be excited by people trying to, goad him into it. He is very, very informed. I don't know if I would agree with every single one of his positions because I don't know them all, and there's been a couple of times that I haven't been in 100% agreement. But what I cannot argue for a second is for some reason I have a random ass headset in like that. No. What I cannot argue with for a second is that he is not very well informed. He has positions and they're well reasoned and well considered for the information he is looking at. And that is such a you can have a good debate with somebody you disagree with if their position is informed. You can't have a debate with somebody who's like, well, I don't know anything, but I'm saying this is like it is. But how do you know that? Why do you have that position? I just do. You can't debate that. He is upfront with his position, yeah. He's not trying to go do into anything. He's not trying to, not necessarily trying to change your position. He'll debate you on your position, and he will ask you, to defend your position, and he's prepared to defend his.
What his exactly like that.
It's interesting to know that dude's not a one-off.
Right.
Yeah.
That he's feeling a little more engaged and getting a little
I wonder how much more we'll see of him.
Yeah, if you see him around, let me know.
Absolutely.
But see, that's the thing. A lot of people who are, progressives, if you're on the right, they're all communists. They're all communists. If you're not demanding that the public, that the people own the means of production as a baseline, which, as I said, one of the reasons why I oppose it is the uniparty aspect and the notion that the people always ends up meaning the government. I don't have enough trust in government, particularly a government where there is one side and one party and one viewpoint, especially under those circumstances. But even if they're not, I don't have enough faith in government to actually serve the will of the people to support that sort of thing. However, I do think co-ops are a brilliant solution to the question of, well, if it isn't owned by literally everybody, how do you have businesses and companies and organizations that need to own things that no one person could possibly realistically own unless we have billionaires and trillionaires? How can you have such a thing? Co-ops are a great answer to that. It doesn't have to be universal ownership. Collective ownership can still exist. It's also pretty stable. If you have collective ownership of something and everybody is a stakeholder in that, not necessarily everybody universally, but everybody involved with it is a stakeholder, you have a situation where the company serves the stakeholders, who can be the workers and the customers. I mean, that's genuinely when things work for the benefit of everybody involved.
I'm just reporting. I know they said it wasn't going to be. I went outside.
I think possibly the most important thing that we can do, though, is we have to have a viable, at least, two-party system. I mean, if we're going to make... You can propose sweeping changes, like Marxist communism. You can propose those sorts of things. But there isn't a path from here to there. At least I don't see one. So even if that was the solution, the solution isn't available. That solution isn't available to us at the moment. I think you have to work in stages. Or you have to try and force a collapse of everything we've got now. And frankly, if you're trying to collapse everything we have now, you're looking for between 65 and 95 million people to probably end up dead. That's not something I'm not willing to do it that way. So if you're trying to do it that way, count me out. That is why I keep saying that I'm required as, a person who uses various social media platforms, and especially YouTube, to say that I do not support any act of violence. There could be a point where it's unavoidable. I mean, theoretically, that point probably exists. But realistically, the last time we had a civil war, 10% of the population of the country ended up dead. And frankly, that population was a lot hardier than we are. Far too many of us depend on and require our modern conveniences that would be gone in the first week of any sort of civil war. So it would not be a 10% population. You can expect to lose in the neighborhood of 25%, give or take maybe 5%. It would be bad. It would be really bad. And if you're okay with that, you're a fucking psychopath as far as I'm concerned. So I'm not in favor of doing it that way. I mean, it could happen that way, but first of all, if it ends up happening that way, I won't be here because I will be one of the bodies, and I know it. So I don't have to worry about it if it happens that way, and reconciling the moral weight of having done it that way down the line, because I will be one of the casualties the survivors try to justify somehow. But no, even when I was a Republican, I'd consider this, because you get people who were essentially accelerationists. They wanted the war so that they could wipe out the enemy and get it over with. There is a group of about 10 off around the corner to my left, give or take. I don't film over here up close. That's just been my standard policy, and that policy was based on the Operation Inflation costume booth being over here, and people changing and eating and those sorts of things. Well, with Operation Inflation being gone, let's see who's still here. I'll be right back. Got me stepping out into the rain for you here. Got a couple of people out here. I guess a lot of people have run off now. There were people out here. But there's less now, it looks like. Can you blame them at this hour tonight? Wow. Those lights are just washing out everything tonight, aren't they? It is just that wet. So, sounds like Nathan is likely to call it early because he's got a need to be at home. And I might end up doing the same just because it's inflatable weather, guys. Yes, it is. Man, if I'd brought the frog, I could at least, I could walk out in there and I would be effectively almost dry. I mean, if I held my breath, I would be completely dry. I haven't heard they got runoff. What I've heard is that they have... Jordy is big on trying to do things that have the most impact. And I think he was seeing that, Operation Inflation had run its course for the impact it could have. And if it's not going to have the impact, why be out here doing it every day? And I'd argue that actually the impact of Operation Inflation was massive and necessary, and it continues to be massive and necessary. It's just not as visible now. But I mean, it's their time, and Jordy's now running his stream, as often as I am, and he's got a lot more viewers and a lot better monetization than I do. So he's helping pay the bills with it, and that is a good thing. So, the Monsanto decision. I haven't had a chance to really read much about this other than I know that it exists. So, have a good night.
Bye.
If you want my opinion about it, I've already said that if people tried to run me off, I wouldn't be leaving. I'd rather expect that Jordy would have the same attitude. So, choosing not to be out here anymore every night was a decision he made because he wanted to. I mean, I'm sure that it is the case that he thought that there were things he could do that would have a better impact. specifically because if you're going on rumors that somebody ran him off, I don't think he'd be willing to be run off any more than I would. That right there is Antifa, which is looking good and getting well watered tonight. Well watered.
Yeah.
The tree's actually in pretty good shape. The decorations on the tree are creepy as fuck, but I haven't seen Pam tonight. She might have been out here. I suspect she is probably more likely to show up on the weekends. Most people are these days. That whole having a life thing. I mean,
I always thought Ackroyd was funny with that.
there are a few people have this notion that
Right, yeah.
folks out here are really just we're opposed to Trump and that's it. The most common thing you'll hear shouted out here is fuck ICE. Not even fuck Trump, fuck ICE. Because we recognize that these people are kidnapping our neighbors, sometimes our family members. They are kidnapping our friends. They're dragging them off, denying them the legal process that every person, not citizen, every person in the United States, for any reason whatsoever, is due. Denying them that legal process. Torturing them. Oftentimes deliberately torturing people to get them to agree to be deported because they can't be deported unless they agree to be, because they have legal status here. Tortured, sexually assaulted, flat out raped. Some of them are even being killed. Hell, a few people who aren't immigrants to this country are being killed. Trump made that worse? Trump didn't start that shit. See and recall a lot of people objecting to kids in cages back in 2016, and it turns out those cages were built by Obama. And it goes back further than that. ICE as an entity dates back to the Bush years. So yeah, people out here are opposed to Donald Trump. But the opposition really starts with kidnapping friends, neighbors, and family and subjecting them to fucking concentration camps and death. This is so abhorrent. It has no place in a country that considers itself to be a free country. The problem with they might be safer in their own country is that, and this does go back to Trump in particular. Trump is a fascist. Straight up, he's a fascist. Trump needs an enemy. Right now, the enemy are brown people and trans people. What happens if he manages to get rid of those enemies?
I'm probably in the head in about a half hour.
If Trump gets rid of all the brown people and the trans people, the next target will be anybody else who's LGBTQ plus. Don't even get me started on the alphabet thing. I can't and won't manage to keep track. It's just not going to happen. They will be the next target because there's always a next target. And maybe it'll be them and the radical left. Then it will be anyone who is left. And left will be defined as disagrees with me. So, Marjorie Taylor Greene is going to be fucking left-wing, according to Trump. The Groypers who decided to follow Tucker Carlson, they're going to be left-wing radicals because they don't support Donald Trump. That's where that goes. And then it's going to be the people on the right who disagree with the whole surrender your guns, because that'll be coming down the pipe. This is a pattern. This is what fascism does. Just like I can tell you that every single time somebody's attempted communism, it has resulted in certain things happening. I can tell you, fascist leaders always impose the same restrictions. It always ends up, we need a new enemy, we need a new enemy, we need a new enemy. And the goal is to create a passive, essentially, a slave population, where the slave population is the entire country.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, fuck Clarence Thomas.
Right, yeah.
Equal protection is guaranteed by the Constitution. If Clarence Thomas or any other dumb fuck in a black robe has a problem with that, well, they seem to be involved in trying to overthrow the Constitution. There's a word for that. Starts with a T. I bet you can guess what it is. And that crime carries certain penalties. And judges can be arrested. Doesn't happen all that often, but it can happen.
I'm gonna go home in about 15 minutes.
shit. Yeah, it's getting dark and cold.
Oh, it's already dark and cold.
Yeah.
See, I disagree with the idea of banning a Glock, because that's just like saying, like, okay, we're going to just start banning stuff until we come to a point where things are no longer dangerous.
I can't say no.
First of all, gang members don't usually have Glocks. My experience is, love you, TriMed! My experience is that gang members usually wind up using, like, Jimmy Jams and High Points and other bullshit guns.
Okay, I guess I did just press it.
Yeah.
Yep, there.
I mean,
That's awesome. Mine you have to preheat. Especially
my
now
little
it's kinda-
Keltec
it's not that cold,
is
but-
a substantially more
Check it out.
Whoa, you did that
performant
all
and effective firearm than the stuff that
Fine.
gang members usually wind up
It's gonna be a
using.
mess.
That's solid.
Thank you.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
You just can't do that shit.
The blind guy knows something about firearms. Well, I was a Republican. The major reason I can see California objecting specifically to Glock handguns is that they don't have a dedicated, like, safety latch. But then again, neither does my Keltec. The safety on my Keltec is the fact that it's a 9-pound trigger pull. If you want to pull that trigger, you need to deliberately choose to pull it. Well, the Glock, if you put your finger on the trigger will pull. And it ain't gonna be 9 pounds. The safety is built into the trigger, which is maybe not where you want it. I don't know what the reason is for California's ban, other than, you know, Democrats seem to be big on let's ban guns at a time when, like, you know, the Second Amendment was created so that the American people could resist tyranny. Should it wind up happening? And tyranny should wind up happening. Not saying that's where we should go. In fact, I made the argument earlier for exactly why we should not. But it could wind up happening. I think we're fucked if we go in that direction. So I'm not. Another bus.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Love you, TriMed! See, the thing is, they talk about the Constitution, but very selectively.
Yeah.
I read my Constitution,
You read that.
and I handed out a lot of pocket constitutions.
There it is on top.
But I also read mine. Well,
That's over
I did have one, and I carried it. I read it on a computer. Let's face it, I read it on a computer.
You know if you're going furries. Yeah, right here. Yeah, right there. I am about to walk to the store. Oh, you got that?
But realistically,
No, I'm good.
no thanks. Realistically, if MAGA folks were reading the Constitution and they were reading their Bible, I don't think they could genuinely defend and support being MAGA. Matthew 25 says everything Donald Trump stands for sends you to hell. I mean, straight up. The entire chapter says, if you are Donald Trump, you are going to hell. Because Donald Trump is completely unrepentant. He does not serve the poor. He does not feed the hungry. He doesn't. All of those things in there, he doesn't do any of them. And in fact, he finds it a sign of weakness that other people would. Most MAGA seem to understand part of the First Amendment and the Second Amendment and maybe the Fourth and Fifth Amendment. And even not really that, since they seem to think that the Trump regime is allowed to just violate the Fourth Amendment anytime it damn well pleases. It's a Bill of Rights, not a Bill of Suggestions. They do not be guidelines.
Good, 'cause that's
The Bill of Rights literally is a list of things the federal government shall not do. And we later on decided that we needed an amendment saying, hey, the Equal Protection Clause says the states can't do it either.
Just barely missed it too.
So, welcome back.
How's it going? Right now, yeah.
Well, the funny thing is, I always come in here and say, well, I have freedom of speech, freedom of speech. But they don't afford that to people on their channels. They say they will, but, I mean, will and have are not exactly the same thing here. But I'm not the government. So if you're being an ass in my chat, one of my mods is going to take great pleasure in, well, basically, let me read you your rights here. You have the right not to be an asshole. If you give up that right, everything you say and do will be used against you. If you cannot afford to stop being an asshole, one of the mods will be appointed to kick yours out. Nowhere in the Constitution will you see it said that the Bill of Rights applies to white people. That's actually not true. Nowhere in there does it say that. It said it applied to citizens. But originally, any free person who was here could be a citizen. The courts later on decided, extra constitutionally, that no, a black man is not entitled to citizenship, which is why, we actually put it into the Constitution. Actually, anyone born here is automatically a citizen, no matter what. Previously, that was not stated because it was just assumed. I wish I could pin that.
I saw you up there.
There is already basically a work requirement for many entitlements. And there was one prior to Trump fucking with things. I think you probably don't end up with a work requirement to get food stamps. Probably. At least not right away. I don't know. I have a documented disability, so I've never been subject to a work requirement. There is a work encouragement. Unfortunately, nobody is hiring a guy who is legally blind, seriously asthmatic, diabetic, and has stage 4 cancer. It's just not a realistic thing. Especially since I don't have the strength for an 8-hour shift. Can't exactly work a 9 to 5. Especially since, I can't really be out in the sun. But again, Americans are absolutely willing to pay exorbitant fees as long as they think the money isn't going to somebody else. Europe, again, pays less in taxes than we pay for medical, and their medical is free. And they have a functioning entitlement program. Why are we opposed to that system if the outcome of that system is that it costs less? It literally has to be that we object to paying for somebody else. We'd rather pay more if it goes for us and us alone.
5 minutes of sound curfew.
I don't enforce that anymore. Yeah.
Well, I mean, if they're gonna play a song, I would consider moving, but realistically, my streams make $0 anyway, so The only way I actually get anything is if y'all super chat or memberships or PayPal. So you're all welcome to contribute if you'd like. But but again, the European system, people work, they pay less in taxes, despite paying more taxes. They pay less in taxes for all those services that they pay for that the government doesn't. And they're paying for all them people who refuse to work. Except there aren't really that many of those.
Guess what? I'm probably only gonna be here for like
Or the last 3 minutes, I'm sorry.
yeah.
Well, I'll be back in 3 minutes. I'm gonna go to the gate and play Michael Jackson.
Oh yeah, I'll probably be gone by the time you get back.
See, I can get in trouble on YouTube if I play music, but if somebody else plays music, I just lose any monetization on my stream that I don't actually get anyway. Turning into there. Oh.
Right, I know.
Nope, they just figured out they went the wrong way. They really need to light up those wrong way signs.
Alrighty, I'll see you later.
Have a good night. Tell them to turn around.
Yes. No, I'm good. But this is a one-way street.
So, all right, being disabled and all, I have Medicare, and Medicare has a Part D plan, which is all privatized and bullshit. The plan used to be, you know, Aetna, CVS, Caremark, Silver, whatever the fuck. Whatever, right? They changed it because United bid lower, and United said, we're changing your medicine. The medicine they put me on caused me to vomit 4 times a week on average. United, the people who had their CEO fucking shot, came later. But, I mean, the CEO got shot, possibly by a guy named Luigi, less than a year after they told me puking your guts out to the point that you're tearing and coughing up blood 4 times a week is a side effect we are willing to live with. That was a side effect that they were willing to live with. I mean, they didn't have to live with it. I did, but they were willing to live with that side effect. So I called and found out that I could get back onto the insurance I had before, but it would cost me $5 a month. This does not cover my medical visits. It doesn't cover any tests. It literally covers my prescriptions. $5 a month. Okay. I'll pay $5 a month to get back on the old program. I mean, it's $5 out of 1,000. Okay. Yes, by the way, I literally live live on $1,000 a month. That is what I'm expected to live on. So yeah, that is a thing. And
That's what I said.
after all of that, it was easy to switch back to this other plan. But a year later, they told me the price has gone up. It's now $15. Okay, wow. The premium tripled, which would bother me except for the fact that, the premium was $5 a month. A year later, they told me that the premium was now $150 a month. I am paying $150 a month now. Does that seem reasonable to you? That a guy who's got $1,000 a month disability should have his prescription coverage suddenly cost 10 times what it did before? That's the reality of what people are dealing with in this country. And they might take it out on people who could work but don't. The fact is, there aren't very many of those people. Like, really, there's not. I know who some of them are. And the reason why I know who some of them are is because I have a disability. And I know that there are some people who have disabilities who could work but don't. And part of the reason why is because there is a strong disincentive to them working. Because there's kind of a little donut hole where you can work and earn enough to no longer receive your benefits and lose access to them pretty much for good, and still not be able to pay for the things those benefits are providing you. In particular, the major thing that you lose access to, that you can't replace, is medical coverage. All right. It is just wrong. It's the system that we're living with. And that's why I keep pointing out that in European socialist countries, people pay less in taxes than Americans pay for health care. And they get the health care for free. And all them people who don't want to work are covered to the extent that, that's true. The system that we're being told to accept is fucked up. I guarantee You pay more in taxes than Elon Musk does. You certainly pay a higher percentage in taxes than he does. And if he can find a way to redirect or hide his income, and they all have a way. By the way, I seem to recall Warren Buffett was big on them rich people need to pay their share. Remember that during the Obama years? I mean, I'm finding that basically a lot of people who are in politics now don't remember these things because they're frankly too young. But Warren Buffett during the Obama years was very big on the rich paying their share. And he supported a bill that would, institute basically a wealth tax on people earning $250,000 a year or more. Funny thing about that, Warren Buffett happens to operate a place that you could put your money.
What about your pain and suffering? They already got pain.
And if you give your money to him, you could basically hide it from having to pay taxes on it. And the bill he was supporting, conveniently, didn't include that.
So take his farm.
So that's an interesting thing, isn't it?
Well, I don't know. He got that story somehow. I don't think
The bill he supported
one
didn't
time, never saw him again.
affect the way he had through his company to shelter your money from being taxed. Now, when I was a Republican, I thought that was pretty fucked up, and as a Democrat, I still think it's kind of fucked up, actually, you know? My view hasn't really changed on that. Not even a little bit. It wasn't right before, and it isn't right now.
Also, I just like to tell you that my protest fires are still
The thing is, a lot of what I've been saying tonight are things that the left and the right used to agree on. Like, these were, and if they didn't agree, it used to be Democrats who were opposed to equal rights and equal pay for women and strong labor unions, and they opposed those things because they represented a certain class of people who were used to having certain other classes of people to give orders to that those other people could not refuse, or they're getting a whooping. It is wild how things have changed. Not for the better. Because now you've got the occasional Republican actually saying that, what was so wrong with slavery? The slavery part was wrong with slavery. Well, there was slavery in the Bible. Yeah. This is This is not the argument you think it is. Because nowhere in the Bible do you find thou shalt keep slaves.
Oh yeah, that's fresh.
Yeah.
He won't say anything.
He's the one who was yelling at me last night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now he drives by and yells at people and says, I got no problem. Yeah, now you don't all of a sudden.
Right.
I am starting to pack up a little bit here because it's cold, it's wet, and there's a lot less. I mean, I can rant about these things, but
Little Michael.
if you check my channel page, there's a place where you can click, just like on my channel about. You click about this person, and there's a place you can click, and it makes you do a CAPTCHA, and you can get my email address. YouTube doesn't really have a PM set up. I mean, Nathan often will not stay out here past 9 p.m. if he doesn't get $30 a night. I don't get $30 a week. So there have been some people who have contributed phenomenally and more than I could ever expect. So those people are absolutely awesome. I have showed a time or two that it's hard to zip up. So but I will. This right here, Lisa bought it for my birthday, and it was on my Amazon wish list. I'm out of frame. This is the first aid kit, and it is quite the first aid kit. This is small, but this is serious stuff. I mean, full-size tourniquet there, like serious, like cat tourniquet there. There's the hemostatic gauze. There is a nasal airway over here if I'm like having an allergic reaction. There's a chest seal here if somebody decides to shoot my ass. I mean, things are chaotic out here. I've had guns pointed at me. It's some more than others have had that happen, but it's happened to me. Hey, and I managed to zip it back up without much fuss. But this little first aid kit, it's like $85. So, phenomenal. Thank you. I have one pair of trauma shears here. It came in a 2-pack. I put one of them in here. Okay. These trauma shears are some of the best that you can get for the money. They're serrated. They will cut through like clothing like nothing. So again, if somebody's bleeding, and these are the trauma shears that are in, my, this is my sort of community, like if somebody's actually like injured out here, or you know, there be a couple of Sudocon wipes in here, and frankly, there are, you know, my understanding is that half the population finds these things useful to have. So there's a few of them in here. In addition to, you know, the only thing that this kit does not have still is it still does not have any chest seals in it because I don't have any more. But this is for like if somebody is like seriously hurt out here, or even has a boo-boo. I mean, there's a number of band-aids in here. I've got them covered. And somebody said, well, you wouldn't treat somebody out there if they were MAGA. The hell I wouldn't. That would not make me the most popular person out here. I know this because some of our medics have done it in the past, and they have not been very popular as a result of doing it. But when you decide that you are going to do the medic thing, you treat who needs treating. That's just how that works. Sorry guys, I tried to scroll and I ended up clicking on Chris's link. Thanks, Chris. Chris, by the way, is the one who sent those shears, so thank you. I did not make a post about those. I should have. I started one and then I walked away and then my browser crashed. And I neglected to go back and do that. But Chris sent those shears. Thank you. Yeah, there have been some very, very supportive people on this channel, and I really appreciate it. This month, and I fear that this may be the way of things going forward, is just everything was so damned expensive. Heather, who is right over there in front of the front line now, brought me a large supply of water, which is good because it is time to you know, we get in addition to the potential for tear gas, there's also bear spray and whatnot. I have this 6-pack of water bottles here. These aren't water for drinking. These are saline, and well, 5 of them are saline. One of them is a bottle that has water with a couple of drops of baby shampoo. It's time to redo those, all of them, again. The saline is not sterile. It's distilled water and sea salt. But that means that after a certain amount of time, I've had it, you know, be about 3 weeks, it needs to be replaced. So dump them out, wash them out, and fill them back up again. And I have a little distilled water left, or had a little distilled water left, and not much. Not enough to do all 6 bottles. And I've been going through, just because no heat pump, and it had been so hot, so much water. I'm covered for water because Heather out there brought me so much water today. She brought me a wagon load of water. Some of it was, you know, fridge packs for, well, in the couple of fridge packs for having, you know, nice cold water in the fridge. So there's always a cool drink if it's getting too hot. I can't drink tap water in Portland. Cryptosporidium in the water. I can't drink it. Chemotherapy messes with your immune system, so it's not safe. But the fridge packs, will make sure I've got cold water to drink anytime I need it. There's a couple of jugs of distilled, which will, refill my saline bottles for use just in case. And frankly, it's more likely to be if a bunch of MAGA streamers show up out here and things get heated and they pull out bear spray. Or it could also be Mike. I think Mike also carries it. It could be him. But it's typically been them. Sometimes they get sprayed too, so... what the fuck with Nico's car? Whoever did that is fucked up. Like, I have no idea who did that, but whoever did it, man, you got issues. That's so fucked. Nico's a horrible person. She deserves it. Thing is, don't we keep telling people we're better than they are? If you're acting like that, we're not better than they are. That's just my opinion. It shouldn't have been done. Well, maybe they did it themselves. Can't imagine somebody doing that to their own car, but... all I'm saying is whoever did it is fucked up. And frankly, there's enough people who would have done it on our side that I don't need a conspiracy theory to say that it couldn't have been us. It had to be one of them. Whoever did it, you are not a good person. Please do not do that. You could be a good person. You are not being a good person. Be better, please. I have a message from my sister. I will read it later. Battery is charged. Personally, I think we should all work to be better people. I mean, we may or may not succeed. Shit happens, but we should at least be working on it. And that shit with the car is beyond the pale for me. That should not have happened. Yeah. One thing I do know, though, is that, I've said it, I'll say it again. When this is all done and over with, we got to live on the same planet. We are going to have to understand that there's going to be people we're going to run into who were supporting Trump, supporting MAGA. I mean, I've had 2 people tell me just today that I shouldn't feel bad about the fact that that I voted for Trump in 2016 and even 2020 because it didn't matter. I live in Oregon. And I didn't hold a gun to anybody's head, so anything that I did while I was a Republican during those 4 years that I supported the bastard, because I was never really MAGA, and the only reason why I ever voted for him in the first place was somebody attacked me with a crowbar. And he said he was going to do something about political violence. Yeah, raise money off of it for himself. But said I shouldn't feel bad about that. I mean, you can tell me that all you want, but the fact is, I feel responsible for that motherfucker having power. Whether or not my vote actually helped him get it or not, I did something that tried to help him get it. I did not realize what the outcome of that was going to be. But it doesn't matter because I still did it. Which means I am responsible, which is why I come out here approximately 4 to 5 nights a week. Because from where I sit, I have an obligation to make sure that the son of a bitch gets out of power. I've got an obligation from where I sit to make sure that Donald Trump is removed from power and faces some kind of justice. Okay, somebody has a bike over here. I am afraid to leave it, although at this hour it's probably okay. At this point, it's probably okay. I genuinely believe, though, that my obligation to remove Donald Trump from power means that if I can be out here, I should be. Maybe not I necessarily have to be every single day, but I should be. Oh, good. I was worried about going anywhere and leaving your bike behind. I figure at this point of the evening, on a night like this, nobody's running by to grab it.
Always good to see you out. I'll see you later.
I do feel, I was just saying, I feel obligated to be out here because,
Same, yeah.
well, I was a Republican, so.
Oh, I'm glad to see you out here. I gotta catch the bus real quick.
You go catch a bus.
All right, thank you so much. Appreciate you.
There is a. I don't have tacos for all of the tiers, but there is a I think there is a 3-month taco. Chris could probably tell you what there is, because I think he can see those things. I did make a couple. Did the best I could for a blind guy. 32 by 32 is challenging for pixel art stuff. Woohoo! Thank you, so tired. It kind of is a protest for, it is kind of a protest for sort of everything related to Trump, but I mean, the most common thing you will hear people shout continues to be fuck ICE, and that's because they're still kidnapping our neighbors, our friends, our family members. They're still sending people to concentration camps. There's still reports of sexual assault, of rape, of unexpected death, of torture designed to cause people to either just to suffer for somebody else's amusement, or to try and force people that they can't deport into agreeing to be deported so that it's all nice and legal. That shit is still happening. And I've seen Kellyanne having not being the most aware that we're out here fighting against that for a damn good reason. Like, she thinks we don't, she sometimes thinks we don't care about that, or that we're more interested in Trump than anything else. We know that this is going on. We're out here protesting that this is going on. This is inhuman treatment. And damn it, we're gonna see it end. And if Trump were gone tomorrow, if Trump were gone, if Trump keeled over and fucking died, the world would be a lot safer place. And if Vance then, also, I don't know, got hit by the Portland streetcar, and I don't know, Stephen Miller got run over by a reindeer, and if all these people were fucking gone, ICE would continue, maybe with a lower funding level after a few years, but ICE would continue, and the abuse, the torture, the kids in cages, all that shit would continue, because this is an institutional problem. And I don't know about you, but I mean to do something about that. Because that's got to stop. That is unacceptable in a free country. And right now, we don't live in a free country, but, we supposedly thought we did, or at least many of us thought we did. But you can't see that that's happening and say, yep, I live in a free country, because you don't. Not if that's happening in it. Yeah, Obama did kids in cages. He absolutely did. And a lot of Democrats were fucking pissed. Not pissed enough. But now it's in everybody's faces. It's an institutional evil. It doesn't matter if we suddenly elect somebody reasonable, or even if we elected Gavin Newsom. I'd much prefer somebody reasonable, but I mean, you know, this would continue even under a progressive Democrats' leadership unless we make it end. Because the only way this ends is if the American people decide we aren't willing to tolerate it anymore. No president has the power to make this go away. Not completely. They could hobble it, they could slow it down, they wouldn't stop it. The political will just would not be there. We are the political will. If it stops, it's because we decide it stops. Well, we need to decide it stops. And yeah, this is where protests happen for most things related to the federal government. I get that. But I'm not forgetting that ICE is what this building is for. That's the thing that that is a thing that a lot of people outside the United States don't seem to understand. They think that we have control over our elections. Our elections are 80% decided before the first vote is cast. We don't really have a really solid way to say, nah, throw the bums out in this country. It's not impossible, but the system is set up in a way to make it so that it's not going to happen. That's something I want to see us change. And I think we can. I think we should. And I think maybe this time we will. Well, guys, it is nearly 11. And I'm getting tired. And it's cold. And it's wet. And I'm mostly packed up. And I've ranted long enough. Yeah, these concentration camps need to be shut down. They need to be shut down. I think Obama put some kids in those cages too. Trump did it a lot more, but I mean, the famous pictures were of Obama era. But he couldn't have done it if the cages weren't built. I mean, he could have ordered them built, but chain link fence is barely a line item on a federal budget. Oh, don't, sorry. I'm wondering if anybody out here still does. I'm wondering if there's anybody still out here who does. There might be a couple of people around the corner there if there's anybody still out here who does, who do, but I think they've all gone home. Mm-hmm. Harris should not be running again. She's had 2 attempts. She was wildly unpopular. She was so unpopular, Dems ended up with Biden the first time. Biden was not suitable to be president. And she probably did a halfway decent job of running the country in autopilot mode. I mean, she might have been okay as a president if Biden was okay. And by comparison, I will fucking take Biden any day of the week. But no, she shouldn't run again. Of the people who've sort of suggested they might be willing to run, AOC is the only one that really excites me at the moment. She's young, but I don't think that's a bad thing at this point. Well, guys, I'm going to call it for the night. Thank you very much. You know, when I come out here on these quiet days, it is the folks like you who, just waiting, I'm not shouting because it's almost 11. Honk. No honk, because it's almost 11. Yeah, I think it is time. Oh, 2. Two buses. It is that time. It is almost 11. So anyway, if you can help out with the stream, please do. You can do that with a like if you haven't done that already, because that helps people find my streams. And I mean, I'm not going to wind up with like MAGA contributor money anytime soon. Yeah, like ever. That'll never happen. But you know, pulling this wagon is a lot of work because it's heavy. And if you look at my Amazon wish list, a good portion of it is about increasing the capabilities of what I can do with it and lightening the load. I mean, there's some stuff like a tablet, so I'd be working on, you know, with 2 devices, and memberships result in like, you know, eventually I'll have $100, and when I have $100, I can actually get paid. Yeah, so, I mean, if you can help out, please do, but realistically, the biggest way you can help is by liking the stream, because that helps people find it. I used to get, you know, like 70 viewers, and it's been more like 20 to 30 lately. Partly because that's because people are, you know, paying more attention to what's going on at the concentration camps, and there's a lot less going on out here in front of this place. But you know, that's why we have the topic discussion nights. So anyway, I need to go and read up on the Monsatan decision. Pronounced it correctly that time. Oh God, yeah, Orland. First of all, who names their kid Orland? But secondly, my God. They knew what they were doing. They fucking knew what they were doing, and they did it anyway because they didn't care. A callous disregard for the life of a toddler. That is so fucked up. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna call it there. Like I said, please like the stream and have a good night. And don't forget to have another taco. My name is Joseph Carter. I don't hide who I am. Even if I come out here in the sun covered head to toe, I don't get to be anonymous. And I don't want to be. So, my name is Joseph, and I am happy to be out here. I'll do this if anybody's watching or if nobody is, but with your help, more people will be watching. So, thanks very much, and have a good night, everybody. Boop.